Toronto 2026 showcase.
Watch out, down like.
Hello, I'm Nair, and you are listening to Neochronos ID Showcase. There's too much noise, but the showcase is sick.
Nowhere to go, no, I'm nowhere near done. You're humming my songs, bitch, it's getting so slow. Take a chance and tell them what's so hard about your life. If it wasn't for these songs, I bet there'd be no words to mine. Static in my teeth, blue light in my eyes. Fuck, now I got the whole world watching me blink twice. Say it soft, say it loud, say it wrong all night. Say it back, I'm in the hallway, just how silence bites. Camera 6 a.m., yeah, I'm like we're back in the cam, yeah. Spin out fake, not my plan, yeah. Said it once, back again, yeah. Change the time, I'm fine, yeah. Oh, right, go on, yeah. So it was right, I'm the time. Cause I'm lying, yeah. Yeah.
Showcase thing, I guess. Please help me! He has me held hostage in his basement, please! Please!
shade. Pull up, watch these motherfuckers freak. Watch them say what up, dog, when you see me in the street.
Good music in this bitch, now drop that motherfucking beat.
Okay, now, hold up, hold up.
Yo, what is poppin'? This is Novasai, and you are now locked into a brand new showcase by Neochrono. Keep it locked, don't rip any of the tunes, or honestly, you're just fucking dead, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You're just done.
1, 2, 3, 4, bring it down.
Yo.
Ah! He's copying me, man.
2026 showcase.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? It is Agony, and today is Wednesday.
Yeah.
And you know what that means? It is feedback time. Yeah, so if you guys haven't already, submit your tune. Submit your song that you worked on. Maybe you're feeling like it's not the best it could possibly be. That's what I'm here for, bro. Send me your stuff. I will try to tell you what's wrong with it, and then you can make a hot, crazy banger. Yeah, so if you go into the Patreon link, there is a free submission form. You just got to be a free member, and then go into the submissions. There should just be a Google link or a Google form, and then fill out your stuff, send it in. Make sure also, this is a really common thing. You guys sometimes will copy the actual URL on SoundCloud. Make sure you guys put like click the share button and put that in. That's happened like every week for like 3 weeks straight now, and I just want to make sure people don't get it all silly. But yeah, submit your stuff there. Paid members, make sure you use your paid thing so you will get feedback first. Thank you, much appreciated. Also have some awesome news. Let's go into the regular thing. We have some big news here. I'm gonna show in a second. Also, for those that are wondering what this music is, Neochrono, has been a long time submitter. They've been here for over a year, supporting me, and I thought I'd do the same and just showcase their music. They're really cracked. So go check them out. As for the news, okay, this is gonna be really sick. I'm really happy to announce that it's not on Twitter yet, but I have a show playing in LA, Oblivion Dawn Eclipse. It's gonna be June 12th, so anyone that's in LA, here is the link for your tickets. I'll be posting like a link for you guys to use shortly. I'm really happy about this. And here's the story. I'm gonna be doing a back-to-back with Slicks. He's a good friend of mine, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna be recording the set and everything. It's gonna be a lot of promo around it. I'm so excited, guys. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys all that cool stuff. Just having a good time. But we'll go back to the main thing today. It's the feedback. So we'll get to that. I don't know why I'm on Twitter. It's not on Twitter. I'll post it on Twitter soon. But it is feedback time. So I think that's enough music for now. Let's get into submissions. Oh, I also have my notepad back. Oh, yes! My notepad. Dude, now I don't have to, like, remember everything. I can just put it down. There we go. He's saying, yo. Also hoping you guys are doing well. It feels like it's been a while since I've been here, man. Is there any chance I could jump on to the front? I have 35 minutes to upload the remix. I could do some quick changes if you notice anything. You have 35 minutes to upload the remix? What do you mean? What remix? Wait, am I missing something? What remix? Are you talking about the Subtronics one, bro? Oh, she. Wait, the deadline's today? I thought the deadline was like next month. Ah, dang, bro. Dude, I made something. And I didn't finish it, so I guess it'll be a late upload. I don't know. Yeah, I made something like really short. I haven't worked on it, and I haven't had really any time to, so oh well. And the deadline is like when, bro? It's just like in the middle of the day. I could probably finish it like after the stream if I'm lucky. Frick, bro. Wait, it's on SoundCloud, isn't it? Subtronics. Dude, it's like getting promoted like on SoundCloud. Yeah, it's like this. Oh yeah, it is May 13th. Shoot, dude. It's also weird. It like only lets you submit if you have the Artist Pro thing. Before at 11:59 p.m. What the fuck? Dude, what time zone? Feedback is free, Avadis. It's just you join as a free member. It doesn't say what time zone this is. Like, this could be in the Oceania time zone, and I wouldn't know. It says the German time zone. What? Dude. Okay, well. SoundCloud is Germany based. Yes, Avadis, you just need to join as a free member. You can not pay for it. You can just submit through the free submission link. Bro, there's no way. That's so silly. Oh well. I mean, if I upload at my time and it's late by a few hours, do you think they would really care? Okay, enough lollygagging. I'll do yours first. I feel like I'm wasting your time. Just so you can get this out of the way. Dude, I should have worked on it more. I feel like a chud. I feel like such a chud. Dude, mine's gonna suck. Mine's gonna suck so bad. I only have like the first drop done, and that's like it. Five drops?
I step into a room set on fire. The drums in my chest fill the silence. I break the walls and end all tonight. They know when she feels my rebound. They know what they're about to witness. They know when my eyes got deeper, my eyes got deeper, my eyes got deeper.
Gotcha, Vedas.
When she feels my rebound, they know what they're about to witness. They know when my eyes
District location, the paid submission is for like first come priority.
got deeper, my
Ooh.
eyes got deeper.
Are you doing that Nasco like snare extending thing?
I stare into the eyes of the giant. The fever in my blood is
It's a
rising.
Nasco snare. He did like a little tip where you could like extend it. Next one is a Nasco snare. Okay. That one? That's all good, Avidas. To Garage. I would replace this the sub bass with like a just a normal Reese. But that's sick. Dude, I love Garage. Something about Garage like makes me bounce. Not in like a weird way, but like in a I'm happy and I'm dancing kind of way. Dude, that was sick. I feel like that's a lot better than mine. Dude, I'm little chud. Like my version is just like a little. It sounds like UK dub, almost, and I'm like, dude, I did the thing, and I like hold my head and I start fucking bawling my eyes out because I made UK dub on accident. It's okay. It's like heavy tear out UK dub. I guess maybe I don't know. I saw Subtronics like one of my songs, Shorn, and I was like, I should make something similar to that. But okay, feedback. I like the progression. I think the transitions could be a little better, like probably in here.
I break the walls and end all tonight.
Is it? Come on. Yeah. It just kind of goes like right into the next part. And I want some kind of transition to feel like, you know, the song's progressing, or like, you know, the next section is more different, some kind of separation. I feel like it would be really easy to do. You could do like just a bass fill, man, just like anything, or just a drum fill. I did like the main part. I thought your mixing was pretty damn solid in this. Yeah, it's funny because every time you submit a song, you like only click mastering. I think it's hilarious, because you got a really solid master down. I feel like it could have a little bit more sub bass, like just a tiny bit more. I might have like a high pass filter on my ears, like biologically or something, because I like putting my sub loud. But it sounds like it could be louder, personally. The kick, I think this is more objective part. The kick and the snare are kind of too quiet for like EDM, you know. This is like the way you would mix a kick and snare if you were I don't know, like making rock music or something, I don't know, or like it's not that big part, but you're making dubstep, okay? You want this kick and snare to be like like really intense and heavy, so probably bring them up like a decibel or two. Your kick is definitely more noticeable than your snare, so I would look at your kick first and bringing that up. But like the thumpiness of the kick is what isn't so intense, so just literally make it louder. Kerosene kick, surgeon snare. You're using the wrong dubstep snares. You need melodic dubstep snares. I'm just kidding. But it's kind of funny. You have a kerosene kick. His music is like totally not what would be used in this. But... yeah, just making the kick a little bit louder, making the snare more snappy. That's really it, man. What are the prizes even gonna be like for... like, is it gonna be anything? Oh, it's right here. What do you get? Is there like, you just do it for fun or something? Is it like, it's like promote it or something? I don't even know. I just want to remix it. I was like, hell yeah. Exposure. That was like another thing I was gonna say, is the vocals are like really, they don't fit the style too much, so like putting like a heavy auto-tune I feel like would be good, but it would probably be too finicky to just slap on for how little time you have left. So just a suggestion. Free eye laser surgery, hell yeah, I'll take that. Okay, that'll conclude the feedback for Basty. Next up we have Avada. Boom. Good luck, Basty. I hope you win. You win dubstep, dude. Also, guys, check out this thing. I am playing a show in LA on June 13th or 12th. Sorry, June 12th. So be there or be square. I'll put the link in the chat for you guys to get stuff. But yeah, check it out. Agony Face Reveal. Never. That's pretty funny.
Check this out.
That's awesome. I love that. Is that a gong? Damn.
Check this out.
Bruh. Damn, that was very, very solid. Bro, you nailed that transition. Like, I don't know how you could have done that. Gong gong, and then like you do some weird static effect and it goes into rhythm. Like, bro, that was impressive. Good stuff. That's like a completely different tone change, by the way. That like takes quite a bit of skill to get that. Okay, so your mixing is good. I like your mixing. Like recently I don't have any problems with the style of mixing you've been doing. It just sounds good. I have no complaints with it, like, at all, not even a little bit. This is like a preference thing. It's like your drums are really splashy. They're the kind of drums that I would be making, but I know a lot of people like having more like hard percussive, not percussive, but like not splashy, like really dry drums. Like I think of Modal Nodes. Modal Nodes kind of has really dry drums, but I like them splashy. So this is kind of like what I like. So that's like a little subjective, but still, your mixing's great. Your kick sounds great. Your clap sounds amazing, really crunchy. The only thing that I have to say is about the sub. So the sound design you're using is it's kind of similar to how you would make a gun bass. You're like ducking the low end so that the high end of the bass can come through more, and then doing that allows you to add a lot of distortion so it sounds really full, and then you can kind of manipulate the high end of the sound to duck with the sub, so that way you can create phrases so it sounds like a womp, like wom wom wom. That's how you get that kind of sound, is you're like bringing up the low end to crunch the high end, and then, you know, that ducks the high end and it creates like a phrase or a womp kind of effect. But what I hear in this that is kind of a mistake is how you're handling the sub. Because if you are actually boosting the sub like I demonstrated, if you're cutting it for high end, like how I do or how I do for gun basses, you're left with this effect where, yeah, your low end is going to suffer for that. If you duck your low end's going to be quieter. So that is an issue you need to figure out.
Check this out.
Like, your sub is not consistent in here. Like, I can hear it ducking very obviously. I want to hear a sub bass that is more present in the mix, because right now it sounds like it's fading in every time there's a kick and a clap. Can you somehow make it more consistent to where I hear the sub bass like kind of throughout the entirety of the drop, so it doesn't sound like it's fading in? It matters a lot. Especially in like a real setting where you are playing music, because the sub, like if you went to a show, they boost the sub a lot, and like a sub is mostly what you'll hear, honestly. And that's why people, you know, freak out about, oh, you need to have your sub on a dedicated sub, and also make it mono so it sounds really loud, is because that kind of thing. Like, the sub is what you hear a lot of. So just keeping it more consistent, making it uniform, figure out how to do that on your sound design. If you're gonna add a dedicated sub, then you might just need to. It also becomes way more apparent in this drop, where you're not just playing quarter notes, you're like playing eighth notes with it, and it just sounds even more messy because of it. So a possible solution, because this is the only thing, I'll give you like a possible solution. What you could do is duplicate this bass, okay? Take off all the effects you have on it, and any pitch bend or like any dispersers you put on it will have the same exact thing. Like, it will be the exact same phase, the exact same pitch, the same pitch bend, the same attack, release, everything. Instead of just making it like your main wavetable for the tone, make it just the low end. So like kind of turn it into a sine wave, or what you would want your sub to be. And then you can have control over like when the sub comes in, and then you can keep it clean and then have it processed separately. And then you can cut away the sub from your actual tonal part of the bass, and then just mix them together. And that's how you get a really clean bass. I actually do that with kind of few basses. I had a collab recently where I had like I had several different gun basses. I had like different gun basses and then like a womp bass or something. And their sub basses sound really different. And I was just kind of frustrated trying to mix them all together, because one bass sounded really gritty and crunchy, and you know, they all sound good. They're all good sounding basses. And I'm like, shoot, well, I don't want to change all of them to be the same. Like, I kind of like how they are. So I bit the bullet, and I made a dedicated sub for all of them. And I just matched the phase, the pitch bend, at literally everything. And then I mixed it in, and it sounded really, really good. Like, it sounded really close to what I had. Ban that guy. Mods. So that's just my only feedback for you, Avada. So yeah, that's it. Really good stuff otherwise. Making the best rhythm in the scene. All right, so that kind of concludes the priority stuff. We're on to the free feedback form. Someone asked where they are. Avedis, you submitted twice, and you are at the very end of the queue. But we have Radamanthus. Radamanthus is first in the free queue. I like using Kilohertz Distortion on my subs with bias. Makes them crunchy. Gotta mix it in mono because bias makes it stereo. I don't actually think bias makes it stereo. There's like a literal stereo knob in there that does make it stereo, but it kind of does the same thing. It's like it just delays the right signal a little bit, and in doing that, it like makes it stereo and kind of has like a bias effect because you're like putting more weight on like a top or bottom part of the waveform. But like having the actual bias knob just pushes the waveform up in space. So it just like imagine an oscilloscope. You have the middle line, right, which is like 0 decibels. You have the upper hemisphere and the lower hemisphere. It represents high pressure and low pressure. So like when your speakers move, they move inward and outward. So the high pressure, I can't remember which one is which, but one side moves the speaker forward and one side moves the speaker back. And that oscillating sound is what makes the sine waves in your brain, and it's what makes sound. And it's just literally all bias is doing is just biasing it up or down. So it's like the lower hemisphere gets more of the sound, or the high hemisphere gets most of the sound, and the lower hemisphere gets like a little bit, and you just kind of store it together. When I put bias on my subs, it takes away the low end typically. I do something weird to make it clean. Yeah, bias does that. It just kind of, you need to finick it a little bit to get the results you want. But without further ado, let's do Radamanthus.
You tried to tell me, but something got
Radamanthus wanted feedback on mixing.
it took control now.
No problem. No specific problem, just trying to get this sounding as good as possible. This one was heavily influenced by you and Colossal. Okay, Radamanthus.
Like I'm encoding this digital drug that everyone's using, but computations can never define my state of mind. It's hit the ceiling, but they can't find out what I've been feeling. Superhero, ones and zeros. I look higher for what I'm needing. Human nature to need a savior. Look no further. The sun he left for me saved my soul now. Can you show me how to be real again?
I like that Reese fill. Bro, that has to be you screaming, right? Bro, dude, is that like your vocals? That's be your vocals, right? The not not the female singer, I mean, but the scream vocals has to be you. Cause I remember last time you were asking for feedback on your vocals, like your metal vocals. Bro, you sound a lot better. Like genuinely. Like if this is you, you sound much better than you did before. It doesn't sound like you're straining yourself anymore. It sounds like like you've been practicing and you got used to how like the screaming feels in your throat. And this part, your tone actually does sound pretty good. It could use some work still because like you need to project your voice and get like the full tone. That kind of just comes with doing it a lot and doing it more. Is like the whole trick is getting your air out. It's really hard to at first excuse me. It's really hard to at first to get a lot of air out of your throat because you are using compression. And when you're doing that, you're kind of subconsciously compressing more, and it's like squeezing your throat, and that's like how you're getting the scream vocal is like compressing your throat. Oh, fucking excuse me. Dude, I having sinus issues again. You could like over compress your throat when you're trying to push more air out, but it's just something you get used to. It's just like a feeling. But dude, I'm happy you're making progress. I'm also making progress. I'm trying to get the same thing out right now. I'm kind of like where you're at almost. Like I just struggle with projecting, and that's like it. But your tone sounds good. It sounds sick. I just would turn down the reverb a little bit. Okay, so the only thing you wanted was mixing. I think everything up to the drop is well mixed. But then you get to the drop, and your bass, it just sounds weird. Your bass is really muddy, and it has some weird stereo thing going on. Like I feel like the stereo is coming from a convolver, which is a trick I use as well, but it's like too much convolver plus the convolver signal you're using is really stereo, and so it's just hard panning some frequencies left and right, which you don't want. Also, the actual tone of the bass, I think, is really thin sounding. Like, it does sound cool, distorted, but this tone alone is not going to give you that full, big, expansive, like, dubstep womp that you want, like, because you're making two mistakes. One, you're making the mistake of adding too much convulsion. Convulsion is only really there to make it feel like it's either really spacious or really metallic, because you can kind of tweak with convolver, at least the kilohertz one, to have more feedback. And then if you have a metallic sounding signal feeding into the convolver, then you get the cool stuff. You get the weird metallic ringing in the high end or the mids, which everybody likes, but you're like using too much of it, and the dry signal isn't even really there anymore. The dry signal is what you want because it's the cleanest part of the signal. It is the easiest part to make sound big and bright. So if you're overusing convulsion, it's just gonna sound like the gun bass is in a different room, because convulsion will literally add delay, and I mean, it's reverb, dude. Like, it's gonna make it sound reverb. It's gonna blur the frequencies together. So if you want to be kind of in your face, crunchy, convulsion isn't exactly the way you do it. So just think of it as like a piece of the puzzle, not what's giving you the entire tone of the bass. If you're letting on convulsion for the entire tone, then you need to reevaluate the way you're using it. I don't use full-on convolvers for everything. I kind of mix it in to my taste. It also wouldn't hurt if you just add a layer. If you had a layer on it, then you wouldn't have to worry about it that much. Let's talk about the snare. Your snare tone sounds cool. It kind of sounds like it's a bit of a clap. I think it's one of my snares. I would suggest probably looking for like maybe a different snare that isn't so clappy. Because I think this one kind of works better if it's like a kick clap kind of layer thing. But try and see if a different snare can work that's just kind of more beefy. Also, that fill is too reverbed. And yeah, it does still feel kind of empty, like you need some layers to fill in the space. I like this little Reese you made. And these vocals just have too much reverb on again. Like, it sounds way too reverbed. Here's a cool little thing you can do. If you play your guitar, if you just kind of like have the guitar over the gun bass, it can add a lot of that grit and dryness that you would probably want. So try that out. It would probably help a lot with having a big gritty tone and having it sound really full. I use it quite a bit too. So try it out. We know how it sounds. My final feedback is just, it seems like there's a common theme here. You're like overusing reverb a little much. Like, everything kind of is reverb. You're like, reverb for you, reverb for you, reverb for you. And everything just kind of sounds like reverb. If everyone's special, no one is. If everyone's super, no one will be. Type 1 if you get that reference. Alright, but yeah, thank you for submitting, Radamanthus. Very sick. I'm glad you're progressing. It's so awesome seeing my kin. I'll even say like kin? Is kin even like the right? It's so awesome knowing that daddy. So awesome knowing that daddy is helping his younglings. You guys need to call me daddy now. Hey, someone gets it. Alright, never mind. I take it back. Don't call me that. I immediately like vomited in my mouth. I remember this one. Yeah, I remember you just really had the first drop done. At least I think so.
Peaceful admission. I'm hurting a little less.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Hurting a day after day, a day after day. Less hurting a day after day, a day after day. I am
Damn, I like this part a lot.
myself.
I'm just a little freak for like sine wave melodies. I'm on freak mode. This is really good. I like kind of forgot to write down notes. It's okay because I don't have money. Shoot, man. Song search is great. No problem with it, like, at all. Like, I guess this part over here, I think, could have been better. It's kind of like you just low pass the drop down, and that's like it. Like, that could be a lot more creative than just like a low pass. In any way, like you could just break down the instruments. You could play them in like staccato, so it feels like it's breaking apart, and then you have a long reverb snare or something like that.
Fine, he said, love to the point of it. Fine, he said.
But yeah, it sounds really good, man. Like shit. I think last week I didn't have much to say except for the distortion in the first drop, which I still stand by. The first drop just sounds really overly blown out. And my main reasoning is because it sounds like it's affecting the drums. Like that snare still sounds really weird. It could also just be a sidechain issue. But if that kind of still stands for that, like you could make it sound a lot cleaner with the same distorted sounding leads and bass and all that. But dude, still like it's super enjoyable. I love it. Good stuff. I don't have anything to say about like the sounds or anything. Your sound design, it's pretty good. But bro, thank you for submitting, man. Very awesome. And we have a submission from Shafra. Shafra, how are you doing today? You don't understand the distortion topic? What language do you speak? What's like your native language? Hello, real CDM. Italian? You're Italian, bro? Bro, I don't know any Italian people. Dang. I guess that kind of sucks. I was gonna be like, you could talk to someone about like what I'm saying, but I don't know. I think on actually, since this is on YouTube now, you could probably look back at the last stream. Oh, but I wasn't streaming on YouTube back then. Okay. On YouTube there should be like a way to auto translate like what I'm saying if you're able to like Italian so you can understand it better. So I'll say it here again. What I was saying is create a bus where you have your main synths and your bass. Apply distortion there, like saturation, so you get those crunchy tones out of like the melody and all that stuff. And that way you don't have to distort it in the master, and then your drums can be more clean, and you can add any effects you want to make it clean. Because right now it sounds like your bass and your lead are getting pushed really hard into your master, and that's how you're getting that tone. Your master is green, so you're not pushing the bass or anything really hard into the master, because it can still be green. It's just like if you add a limiter, you can still add a limiter, and a limiter will still distort it. But still, it's revolving around the drums. So there's something with your drums that you're like doing wrong, I would say, is they sound like they're being blown out by something. And that could be a sidechain issue too. If you have the low end signal with the drums and there's no sidechain, then it will really mess up the drums. And what ends up happening is because the low end signal is so low and oscillates so long, and it takes up a lot of space as well, it will push your drums, it will physically push your drums up or down in the waveform, and so it'll add kind of what you would think of as like bias, but instead of like bias, it'll be like a mixing like ring mod and bias with like low end kind of. So your drums will end up being like pushed really asymmetrically, and that's what causes them to sound kind of like they're spittering. So having some kind of sidechain to compensate for it, I think the Kilohearts compactor is a really good tool, and I think it would be a good use case for you because it would automatically sidechain everything down to like the sample level. Or just do regular volume sidechain, but be really careful in how you use it because you don't want to overduck or underduck, because that's when it becomes a problem again. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you know, I actually had sidechain and snare and kick already, but it feels like it's not enough. Evaluate your sidechain with a actual oscilloscope. Like look at your waveform and see like what is happening to my drums. So do your drums, see how they sound, and see how they sound with the bass, and see if it's being changed at all, or if you need to add more, or if it needs to be longer or shorter or something. Because there's something happening between your drums and your bass that is causing that weird distortion. So just find answers. Look at the waveform, look at the frequencies, like what's going on, the tail, the attack release, all those fun things. Worst case scenario, it's like the drums itself, like at a sample level, that's making it sound like that, which I pray it's not, man. That would be really, that would suck a lot. But yeah, hopefully that helps your understanding. Back to Shafra. Anything stuff release? Just want really just mixing. Okay. The track is work in progress. It repeats after drop. Okay, so I think I'm good to skip. I just have to drop right. Cool. Also, for those that are just not tuning in, I have a show on June 12th, so it's about a month away, in LA. You get your tickets on there. Go check it out. Sounds pretty cool. I forgot, actually. I should just stop here. I'm not sure how to put into words some of these sounds. Like, they sound like there's, like, weird spectral stuff going on. And I don't have much to say about this, actually. But what I hear that I can't explain well is I hear weird notching that's happening. So it sounds like a really harsh notch is like in the middle of your frequency. It sounds kind of like a flanger almost. Like you have a really low flanger just kind of sitting there doing its little thing. I don't know why that is. Like it feels weird. But it's like really obvious with this ARP. This ARP thing that goes up, it sounds like there's a notch in the ARP. And I don't know why. So I don't know, man. It's just like it sounds like something's off. I can't tell. I'm using NASCO's plug data and have multiple layers doing the same thing. That might be why then. What NASCO's little color base thing does is it does like pitch track things and puts them in key, but it can also kind of leave gaps in the frequency, and also you don't need to put it on everything. Like if you have a bass and let's say like it's a growl bass, okay, let's say it's a growl bass. If it's playing the root note, you don't really need the color bass effects. You don't need it. You can use it, but you don't need it. And I think you're getting in this territory where like you're putting so much of that effect on everything that everything kind of sounds like it's that effect. Like you put the whole song through it, except for the drums. Maybe tone down what you're putting it on, especially like the ARP. Like if you have an ARP that's being pitched up, I don't see why you would put that on there. Like everything's still in key, right? You're only putting that plugin on things that are atonal or like noisy, right? So like things like a bass, okay, it kind of makes sense to put on a bass. Like it's really just playing the root note. It's not playing like a melody or anything. But it's like if you put it on a lead, like that's not going to enhance the melodic sound of it. It's just kind of take away. It's going to make it sound really thin. Pluggy stuff in some guns, yeah. It sounds really good on plucky stuff because it sounds like you're like playing a kalimba kind of, and it sounds like you're playing like a plucky instrument. But putting on a lead, just I don't see why you would do that. So anything that you have that's already melodic, don't worry about putting that plugin on because it's already doing its part, being in key and everything. That's kind of what I think is happening. Is like you're putting it on stuff and it's taking away a lot of the body of sounds. And that's what you're kind of left with is like this really thin, scooped sound. Like your sub could be louder here too. It was still really cool. Just like kind of take out a lot of that sound and you'll have more of a full sounding song. But yeah, thank you for submitting, Shafra. I don't know what to say about that because it's just you did pretty good on that. And it sounds like it's pretty Sharks inspired, which I like. But yeah, thank you for submitting, bro. Moving on to Kaizel. Oh, Mr. Worldwide. Oh no. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Damn, dude. Bro. Dude, that's sick. What the fuck, man? Did you like thoroughly nail this? I enjoy it a lot. Good job. I don't have a lot to say about this either. You guys are like making it hard for me because you guys are releasing, or excuse me, you're submitting like really good shit. Stop it. Send me something bad. Like a second drop aside from this? Like if it's aside from this, then yeah. My only critique is this like thumpy bass. That thumpy bass does not fit the tone of your other bass. It's like too distorted. Like it's not the same shape. You need to have some way to like notch it. I feel like a notch would actually just fix it, honestly. Like a notch in the middle, boom, done. But holy, that sounds great. Bro, I don't have anything to say about this. Why are you guys making me do this? Everything sounds great. Mixing sounds great. Sounds like it sounds great. Actually, there's one sound I'm not sure about. It's like this sound. Like it sounds like someone giving you a raspberry on your tummy. Like a horse. Maybe change that sound. But that's like it. That's the only thing I would change. Dude, it sounds sick. I'm excited for you to finish this and release it, man. It sounds great. Moving on. Next we have IIXA. Okay. What is this, bro? Oh, it's the Screen of Death. Why is it white? I thought it was blue. I do think that quarter note bass is really cool though. Dude, what the hell? Yo! What the fuck? Oh shit. Bro, why are there like fucking moans? What the fuck? Bro. Dude, this like this bass that's going like dude, I'm imagining like a creature that like makes that sound, like some fucking frog goat hybrid. And like no. It's like did you guys ever do that? Like there's a cool sound or something, or some weird sound, and you like think of what creature would make that sound? I think it started with me listening to the Knife Party Centipede song. I was like, what creature would make that sound? Okay, dude. This is like it's so weird. I don't know about adding the moans in your song, bro. I don't know about that choice. I feel like it doesn't need it. What like made you want to add that in there? I just don't like the moans, bro. Song structure. I mean, it's a basic song structure. It's not like it's like nothing wrong with it. Oh, is your name pronounced like Aixa? Jeez. Okay, my biggest critique with this, bro, is this fucking scream. It sounds like that goat video that everybody like replayed like thousands of times in like 2020, not even like 2010, like 2008, bro. You know the goat scream? That's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like an intense bass or anything. It just sounds like like someone fucking screaming. It's also okay. Sick. That's where I pause. It also just sounds really harsh, dude. It kind of hurts my ears. That's like the baby screaming frequency right there. You know. I think your sound design needs a lot of work, bro. There's a lot of things wrong with it. Yeah, this one bass here. This which, okay, that by itself could work. All right, I've heard some really wonky, weird rhythm sounds that could work. That has potential. People like really vowely sounding stuff. But that first bass, no. That's sustained. I can hear what it is. It's like a down sample thing now. But I like it as just a yoy, not the sustain. And there's fucking duck quacking bass. It has reverb on it. It's like really, really bright and harsh. So you have really harsh basses. They're clashing too much. I can't even hear the original yoy anymore. The goat scream. I don't even know how you made that. Like it just sounds annoying, man. So the big problem with your like mixing and sound design, your sound structure is fine, but damn, dude, fucking, you really need to change these sounds. These sounds are what is holding this song back. I don't have anything else to say about this song, so hope that helps, and thank you for submitting, Aixa. Hope you win music. Okay, next up we have Avis. Oh, just right into it. Okay. Avitas, I mean. Hold on, I'm still typing. Stop. No. Wait. Okay, there you go. Okay, I have all my notes from this. I am accounting for this being rhythms, so I think your sound design is good here. You have a cool tone, and in the drop it sounds pretty much the same, so it's pretty good. The biggest problem I have with this, like, so much, is the mastering that you have. Your master is very, very loud and pushed, and it's just making a mess of everything. I feel like you fell victim to the LUFS lie everybody talks about. Oh, you need to make your song 3 LUFS. If it's not positive, I'm not listening to it. Ah! That stuff, like, single-handedly ruined the EDM community because everybody started competing for the loudest song, and they started being like, oh yeah, that song's fucking far loudest, and I played it fucking Lostlands, haha. So the thing you need to keep in mind is the relationship between the high frequencies and the low frequencies. There's a thing called having tonal balance in your mix. Your low ends, it will take up more space physically in the waveform. So if you look at a low end sine wave, right? Like, imagine your brain. Okay, I don't actually. Wait, this is a bad idea. I don't know if you are able to do it. Can you, like, spin an apple in your head? If you can, okay. So, like, imagine this, like, a really long sine wave, like really, really long, super low frequency. Now imagine a really, like, tight sine wave, really high pitch, okay? That lower one's going to be taking up more space than that higher one, okay? Relative. So that lower one is going to be occupying the upper hemisphere of the waveform and the lower hemisphere of the waveform longer. And so anything that is mixed with it is going to be pushed in either direction by the lower frequency. Like, it's going to be its bitch. If you take the higher frequency sine wave and the low one, and you just sort them together. So imagine the way you're sorting it is through the master. So they're getting clipped into a master, like a limiter, really high or really short, fast attack and release. That's basically making it distort. So if the low frequency sine wave and the high frequency sine wave are playing together and you distort them, you know what's gonna fucking happen? You're not gonna hear that high sine wave anymore. You're not gonna hear that shit. You know what you're gonna hear instead? That's always gonna be more dominant. It's gonna be the sub. The lower frequency is gonna be always dominant. You're gonna hear that over the higher frequency sine wave always. Do that right now. Go into your DAW right now. Get a high sine wave and a low sine wave. Just sort them together. Can you hear the high sine wave anymore? No, you cannot. It's just sound like the low bass note now. And that is what's happening here. That's your big problem, is that these low frequencies do dominate a lot. But here's the catch, okay? If you have a lot of low frequencies distorting, you're not going to get positive LUFS, bro. So what do? What's your next course of action? Oh, you just take down the sub until it sounds loud enough. That's what you do. If you want to beat the LUFS game, here's a quick trick to brag to all your friends. Get an EQ. Get a high shelf. Boost the high shelf as much as you fucking can before the limiter. Boom! Instant 24 positive LUFS. Boom, you win. You win the loudness war. Except it comes at a cost of your song sounding shit and really harsh, and no one likes it because it sounds like ass. That's the reality of it. So let's be reasonable here. You want to have sub, okay? Sub sounds nice. We like low, heavy sub. We also like the high end. So we need to figure out how to balance those together. So take the limiter thing out of your mind. Imagine you can go as loud as you want. Imagine there's a thing that people have called like the volume knob, or like a volume button, where they can instantly turn up and down the volume however they desire. Imagine there's a thing like that, okay? So don't worry about how loud it sounds in your DAW or how much you can push it. Think about if people had this magical button or device where they could turn up the volume or down the volume at just a click of a button, that would alleviate any problems you have with loudness. Like, imagine there's a tool like that, okay? It doesn't exist at all. Just remember, it doesn't exist. But imagine, okay? You want your song to sound really nice and clean and balanced. And sure, the whole purpose of mastering is to get it nice and full. But that's where you don't want to overdo it. A lot of mastering doesn't actually compress it a lot. A lot of pop songs you hear, a lot of rock songs you hear, they don't actually compress it that much. It does not matter how much you compress it. The most they will do is just shave up the transients of some things to feel like the song is like more dynamic than it actually is. Or they'll make it more consistent. So like, this is a big thing in like orchestral music, is the dynamics. Like, you'll have a really big section with a bunch of strings and horns, and naturally when you have 1,000 people playing an instrument, it's going to sound louder than just 2 people playing an instrument. Like, that's just physically impossible for 2 people playing a little violin to make it sound really loud and big. So there's some kind of thing where they compress it so you can hear all those elements and you're not missing out on small tiny details, but you're also like, you don't have to turn up the volume when a shorter or quieter section comes in, right? That's like the whole point, is like getting it in that range. And fun fact about LUFS, okay? LUFS is for TV shows. LUFS is a standardized way to measure loudness. So LUFS is what you'd imagine over a very long period of time. So like something like a TV show. Imagine your show. You like wrote a really funny show, like a reality TV show, okay? You want your reality TV show to be about as loud as the other shows or broadcasts, or even if like you're a news broadcaster, you want to be the same loudness so, you know, people can still hear you. You don't like going to one channel and then the channel is like really low and quiet, or like even a YouTube video. You don't like the YouTube video being really quiet when you click on one video and you turn it up, and then the next video you click on that's loud, it like burns your ears off. You don't like that happening, so that's like what you're wanting. Actually strive for at least -3 LUFS. That's a bad one. Don't strive for -3 LUFS at least. Even my songs, what I see is they range from like -5 to -3. Like, that's usually a good spot they're in. And like I said before, the way you get positive LUFS is by having really bright elements. So you can naturally get there if you just think about how you're going to incorporate loudness in your sound. The most obvious part about loudness that everybody understands is how long is the duration for. You can imagine a really short burst of white noise, and it could be the same loudness as a really long sustained burst of white noise, but you're always going to perceive the louder source to be the sustained one. You're always going to think that. You're not going to think the shorter one. So if you want your song to naturally be -3 LUFS, you need to think about having those sustained longer sounds. If you make sounds that are really bright and sustained, then you will naturally get -3 LUFS just by how you're sound designing, how you're mixing things together. And you don't have to compensate by turning down the low end or something. It'll just naturally be like that. Like, that's how it'll be. The biggest problem with people thinking about you need at least -3 LUFS is they're thinking that after the fact. Like, you already made the sounds, you already made the mix the way it is. You're thinking about that in the mastering stage, which is the part of the stage you can do the least about. Like, you can't affect it that much once you're in the mastering stage. Like, what are you gonna do? Add an EQ? Whoa, dude, sick job. No, that's not how you do it. Think about how you're doing it while you're building the track. If you want this to be a loud track, make the sounds really loud and big. I know for rhythm, it's really hard for rhythm to get that loud because you don't have a lot of bright sounds in rhythm. Tear out, on the other hand, this is considered a tear out. Even the way you're making it, you're having like quarter note basses that are kind of more like womps, like wom wom. They're not really bright and aggressive the way you think they are. So you're trying to fit this puzzle piece in somewhere that doesn't fit. You're trying to fit the star hole in the circle hole or something. Okay, the star piece. It's like it doesn't really fit. You don't need to think about how loud it's gonna be in this context because your basses are not gonna be that loud. Just naturally. I think for this track, I upped the gain on the limiter and clipped the shit out of it in the master. I now just throw on a soft clipper and low cut the stereo on my masters now. Yeah, that's also still bad to do that. So here's the other thing about stereo in your low ends. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm gonna say this like so many times. I'm gonna be saying this for the rest of my fucking life. Like when I'm 80 in an old chair rocking and I have dementia, I'm gonna be talking about this in my nursing home, bro. When you take a EQ and you are cutting the sides from the low end, you are not fixing the issue. The whole point of you doing that in your brain, you're thinking, oh, when this song gets played out on the stage, there's gonna be phase cancellation that's happening. Oh, and I don't want that to happen. And the reason that's happening is because my low end is stereo. Here, let me cut the stereo out in the song itself instead of it happening on the stage. So that way it doesn't happen on stage, but it's happening in my master. Like, you see what's going on? Like, you're not fixing the issue. You are just applying it to the master in your DAW instead. Like, you're not making it not happen. You're just applying what would happen on stage onto your master. You get that? So what do? You need to figure out what you need to do for the sub to not be stereo. And newsflash, in most cases, like 99.999% of cases where you think your low end has stereo, it does not. It does not actually have stereo. The only cases it does have stereo is when you have a respace. Respaces are stereo because you have them in unison. So you have like 12 voices. Those 12 voices are scattered across the stereo field from left to right, okay? And they're distributed evenly, and that's how you get wideness, is something like that. But when you are using Maelstrom or Serum or, I don't know, Massive, like, unless you add unison to those things, you are not going to have stereo. And you still have control over the unison. You can make them mono if you wanted to. Like, it's so easy to do that. And if you're using Serum, it's not like the little sub thing, you know, the little sub oscillator. It's not like that's fucking wide. Like, what are we even talking about? How would you make that wide? It's mono by default. All of the waveforms on Serum are wavetables. They are not stereo. They are mono. All of them are mono. It will not be stereo unless you make it stereo. The only way you can make it stereo is if you add something like chorus. Are you adding chorus to your bass? Oh, that might add stereo. Are you adding hyperdimension to your bass? Oh, that adds stereo. Are you adding reverb to your bass? Oh, that's adding stereo. And then even still, you have control over if that affects the low end or not. So this whole thing of like, I need to cut the sides on my low end is not fucking doing shit. You can immediately fix all of those issues by just looking at how your sound is working. Like, it is so easy to fix. I can't believe you'll so far for this. Also, if you know anyone that does this, like, holy, please tell them immediately. Like, this is a nuclear level threat that's in the EDM scene right now. Like, dude, I cringe so hard when I see people on TikTok. I see it all the time. I need to have like a debunking like series on TikTok or something, because I see so much bad feedback on there. I'm like, ugh, I just want to fucking vomit. I had to read the chat because I haven't seen it in a while. I'm cooked. Well, if you know now, you don't have to worry about it anymore, I guess. Could listen to this and maybe give some advice. What? Oh, if you're trying to submit, there's a submission link on the Patreon for free. So if you just join as a free member and submit it there, then it's fine. Avada, thanks for feedback. I'm playing the same show you are, but the next day. Def not missing your set. Bro, we should meet up, dude. That'd be so sick. I could be like, What could I do? I could like knight you, and I'll get like a big sword. Or I don't know if they would let me have a sword, but like a big, I don't know, like rave light, and I'll like, what do they even call it? I'll like knight you to be a dubstep rhythm man. That'd be sick. Have you considered stereo sub feels nice on headphones? Yes, actually, it does, dude. Stereo sub gets way too much hate, but it sounds good, and if it cuts out in the stage, like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna ruin the average listening experience on people's headphones, because people listen on like they work out to like dubstep and stuff, right? I'm not gonna completely ruin the listener's experience just for a show. And the parts that would be stereo would be like the intro anyways. Like, I'm not going to make my sub that stereo in the drop, right? I'm not gonna make it completely wide, but I still want to have something, you know, something stereo for like extra detail if you're wearing headphones. So yeah. And also, dude, the speaker thing I think is so overplayed out. They make it sound like it's gonna fucking completely cut your sub out and like you'll never hear it, but the only thing is like it'll sound just a little bit different. It's not gonna, dude, I'm gonna stop here. Like I don't need to over explain myself. But back to the feedback, which this is what it was all about in the first place, man. You need to stop worrying about how loud your song is and think about how loud your sub is, and like how cool is your song, how heavy does your song feel. Like the best advice I can, if you think someone has a really good mix down, like Virtual Riot, Phase One, Cohen Sound, Mefuse, I don't know, like any well mixed artist that is known for their good mixes, by the way. Like, you don't want to just do it based off your own recommendation, but like a well-known artist that goes mixing, look at how their waveforms are, look at how their spectrograms are. Is their sub as loud as mine? Is their high end as loud as mine? Where's their mids at? Like, get comfortable finding those ranges yourself and figure out how to implement those ranges on your own so that you can have a good sounding song and you don't like compensate for things and like cut corners. Also, just a little bit of mastering feedback, or like actual advice. Your setup matters a lot, like what comes after what. I think you mentioned you have a limiter and then a clipper. It should be the opposite. Your clipper should always be first in like most cases. That is because the clipper will shave off transients really well. A clipper is like made for that. That's what it's called. It's like clipping the top of stuff, like clipping the top of a tree. So it's like literally designed for that. It's wave shaping. There are clippers and saturators that also preserve detail, like the newfangled saturate. You can clip things and preserve detail, so it's not like remember the sound wave thing I was talking about. Those clippers that preserve detail, you would actually still hear the sine wave up top. That's like, it's like some special algorithm that does that, like a smart clipper. But it's just, you're taking off the top ends of things so that when your signal goes into the limiter, your limiter isn't overreacting. And a lot of times you'll have a limiter that has either a longer attack release, and a large transient will come in and smack the limiter, and the limiter will be like, ah, this loud thing just happened. Let me duck everything down 20 decibels and wait a whole second to reset where it actually was. Instead of that actually happening, having Clipper take care of it for the limiter will keep the limiter from overreacting and ducking things when it shouldn't, if that makes sense to you. That's like the whole idea behind it. So your Clipper can be more transparent and it's not being pushed so hard. And you know, you could do some other weird stuff with it too, and like some minor EQ things, but that's the usual setup you should be going for. That's, I think, the best setup. I had some argument with someone about like limiters and clippers, which I might go into later to get some thoughts on it, because I feel like I'm right. It's like a debate about like the difference between clippers and compressors. But yeah. Thanks for all the feedback I had for you, man. Talking about Luffs a lot. But yeah, thank you for submitting, bro. Hope that helps. Also, yeah, the show, guys, please get tickets, please. I need to look good in front of the people. Oh shoot, I think I copied the line wrong. I need to look good in front of the people that are hosting me, so that they will book me more. So here's the link for the tickets and everything. Check it out, please. Yeah, Avada's gonna be there too, so you can support Avada as well. That's a lot, but I got it. You can refer back to the video, I think. So if you missed anything, you could just come back. But yar. Okay. Avadus again. Is the same the one? Oh, it's another one. Okay, I'll make this one quicker just because the last one I spent a lot of time on.
I will survive eternity. They will die today. Killing is the plan. Let me show you. Underestimate hatred.
Okay, I think I got the gist of it. Pretty much the same feedback overall, just being way too loud. It's a common sign that if you turn off the sub for a second and everything just suddenly becomes really loud, that's how you know your limiter is working crazy. Like, in this instance, you have this high-end pitch scream thing. It's playing without the sub here, and it sounds really crazy loud. But then when the sub comes in, it's like it's ducked so much. This is that exact sine wave thing I was talking about, is that high end is being crushed by the low end. Because your limiter is seeing the big giant low end and going, oh, this big scary thing, and turns everything fucking down. That's what happens. Yeah, and the harsh, what am I saying, bro? The harsh high end is a huge issue too. I think that's where you're getting most of your lust, bro. Fuck. But it's just kind of too harsh now. Yeah, so that's all the food I have really. Again, thank you for submitting, bro. Hope that helps. Next up, we have Bort Cole? What the fuck? This lead is like not fitting at all. Dude, go from the most like heavy tear out to fucking this, and I can't stop laughing. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, why is it like good though? Okay, it's like getting too loud. It sounds like a lot of sounds like a lot of sound fonts that you have. This fuck has to lead. Is it different from the first part? Do not skip, I'm sorry! Kaizel, is this you? Why are you so like... It's like too much! It's too many slices! Is it fucking... Oh. Oh my fucking gosh. Dude. What the hell? Dude, this has to be Kaizel. There's no way. Dude, Bortcole. There's no vowel between Bort and CLE, so it just says Bortcole. Right, I did like it. I did like it. I'm sorry, Bortcole. Bortcole, I'm sorry. Listen, it was just really jarring that there was a song just after all this heavy dubstep. And it's like the most like innocent sounding song ever. Someone said it sounds like a 2000s game. Like, it does completely fit that in my brain. It sounds like you're using a lot of sound fonts. And like, that's what video games use a lot, is sound fonts. That's just like what it sounds like, man. I don't know what to tell you. It would probably sound a lot better if you like had actual instruments as like a song, you know, because you're not restricted by sound fonts anymore. Thankfully, that would suck. So if you could maybe replace all of your instruments with like a real instrument or something, I think it would sound a lot better. Yo, Kappa Kappa. Yo, Kappa Kappa. Is this considered smurfing? Like, are you smurfing in this elo? Your writing was actually pretty good. I liked your writing a lot. It actually flowed pretty damn well. And I didn't think, oh, that melody sucked. Like, everything just kind of fit. But holy, dude. This fucking lead. That lead does not fucking fit at all. That lead is very bad. Like, I would rather listen to FL Keys than this lead. Like, it is so bad. Minecraft Monster School. Oh my fuck. Okay. I'm not hitting on FL Keys, man. I'm just saying I would rather hear FL Keys on this than this fucking lead. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you guys need to stop with this. What are we talking about? FL Keys got you pregnant. Stop. Bro, and this part, like right here, like this is just way too fucking much. What the hell is going on? This like FM bass comes up and it's like wow, and it's just somehow more and more intense like as it goes longer. Dude, like that kind of gives me anxiety. Yeah, but otherwise, well written. Your instruments are all bad though. Like everything, the melody's good, instruments bad. That's it. Thank you for submitting Bortcole. That was awesome. Thank you so much. I loved that. I love you, Bortcole. With that. Alright, heirlooms. Ugh, fuck. I have an orange. I'm gonna eat my orange. Oh shit! It's a pretty high build-up. Oh! Bro, this is sick. Oh, no way. You freak of nature. that was really sick. Whoa. Damn, dude. That was like a vibe. I like that a lot. This sounds like an NCS kind of song. Like it belongs on that label. Are you at liberty to say what label? It sounds like either Night Mode or NCS. And I know Night Mode... Oh, wait, can I even say that? Oh, I don't know if I can even talk about it. But something Night Mode. Something Night Mode. Okay? Fill in the blanks. I like the full usage you have in this. It sounds really good. Okay, so the main feedback I had for you is there are some harsh areas. Like in this part, I feel like it is kind of harsh to have this lead here. Especially in this part as well, when this like guitar solo comes in. It's mainly the high notes that are pretty harsh, so you need to have some kind of EQ on that to duck those harsh frequencies. I think your snare here could be louder as well. But that's like literally it. Like this song sounds great. I love this build up, sounds really good. I love that build up. Just sounds so nice. Okay, next up we have Neochrono. 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 Something doesn't sound right. Something doesn't sound like Neochrono. If you see this, just resubmit because something's not working. Oh, never mind. Why? Okay, never mind, Neochrono. Never mind. I never had that page pop up before. What genre would you say mine was? I don't fucking know, actually. I just slammed my desk. I don't know, man. I don't even keep track of genres anymore, dude. Let's kind of make whatever. It sounds like fucking just electro. I mean, like just regular electro. It kind of reminds me of that kind of style of like Ninanji Rachi or like the Frost Children, Frost Kids, whatever that fucking artist is called. Well, it's because she's like one of the main people who makes some melodic electro now. Wow. This is sick. Also, yeah, Neo, I played your showcase at the start of the stream. Dude, really good stuff. I love it. You are killing it. You are crushing it. This drop sounds really fire. Like, no complaints at all. Your intro over here. Good intro. It like grabs my attention. I think these first like 8 bars could be made more interesting because it sounds like very ethereal, yeah, but it's like it needs to be some kind of attention grabber that says, "Hey, I'm a track. Listen to me." Buildup's good. Mixing's good. No comment sound design. Your mastering is good. The only comment I have for you is the clap is a little harsh. Like, it could probably just use your EQ, but that's like it. Otherwise, good stuff, dude. Like, amazing. I love it. Next up, we have Avia. Bro.
I'm searching and I'm nothing to you. What I'm feeling in my heart, but you're so supreme.
Ooh. Dude, that last part was fucking metal as shit. Okay. I have my main notes. Your kick, it sounds cool. But the highs are just too loud. Like in real metal, they don't usually have the transients this loud. Like, your kick is mainly just a thump you hear. It is not this present. This is like the EDM way of mixing drums. I think your snare's fine where it's at. But overall, your drums do need some reverb or some room ambience, like a overhead mic or a room mic, like in that kind of fashion. I'm not sure if you're using samples or if you're using like some VST for this, but if you're using a VST for drums, there should be an option for like an overhead mic or a room mic. So you can just turn that on. If not, you can use either a convolver for some nice reverb to emulate a room, or just regular reverb like Valhalla Room or something. But leave it very subtle, and also add quite a bit of dampening on it. Having low end reverb is okay, Just make sure it's not mudding out your drums too much, but some kind of room to add some ambience to your drums would be good. And make sure it's on all the drums. So put all your drums into a bus and then put the reverb on everything. Dude, I'm like running out of breath. And overall, your low end is pretty muddy. Like it just kind of like a lot of the frequencies are really pushed up in the like 100 hertz range, which I know it's a bass guitar and it's kind of how they're supposed to sound. But bass guitars have a weakness when they're run through a cabinet. Is the cabinet always makes them sound really muddy. That's what I've always figured out. And to make it sound like a really solid bass guitar, oftentimes layering like even a really subtle sine wave or some kind of foundational low end works a lot. Or just adding or just like mixing the cabinet in a little bit, like a little bit of the dry signal mixing in. And also just kind of, you could also just duck the areas that make it really muddy. It's all VST, so like even in the drums, if you have the drums in VST, then it might just be best to use the room that's included in there, because I think depending on which one you use, they have like room recordings for their stuff too. So this part threw me off, like Lavania. The way you're mixing this is drowning the guitar. Think of where your guitar is dominant in the frequency spectrum, and think about how much space you have in that actual range, because it's being used up by a lot of the guitars, which it can be a problem. You could do a little trick where you you could sidechain where the guitar is playing with like Soothe or something, and that would probably free up some space. The other option is just to duck that frequency range in guitars and let the guitar solo play through. Like you could just add the dry wet where this guitar solo is, and that way you're not cutting it throughout the entire song. How do I send music in? There is a link on Patreon. You can click it, and there is a form to fill out for free members. So go on there. Okay, that's all the feedback have for you, Avia. Thank you for submitting. Good stuff. I like. Good stuff I like. Oh, fuck. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just asking for mixing and song structure, so I'm sticking to that. The song overall is way too blown out. I know it's like a thing to do. These like kiddos want to distort the song, but it's Discord. People aren't gonna like it if it's overly blown out. It's just a fact. There's an 808 on bar 1 that starts like that, and it just blows out fucking everything. It almost sounds cool, but in contrast to everything else, it sounds just like another mistake, like you're blowing this thing out way too much. Production quality. It sounds like everything's just bass boosted, dude. Your vocals sound okay. I think these are your vocals. Yeah. Subs open. If you're talking about Patreon, then yeah, you can sub on there. But on Twitch, I don't think so. I don't think I have subs on here. I don't use Twitch a lot. My main problem with the song is that the arrangement sounds like a perpetual build-up, and it's I mean submissions. Yes, submissions. I'm sorry, I didn't know what you meant. Submissions are still open, but you should hurry because there's only a few left. It is on Patreon, by the way. You can join as a free member and submit there. You have these ghost snares that are playing, and it just makes it sound like it's a build up to some other part, because the ghost notes aren't emphasizing the ands, the 1 and 2. They're just kind of playing whatever, and it sounds like it's gonna go into another section. You need to have a beat that is more concrete and has a very obvious push and pull. So that's why like there's a kick and the snare. So the kick pushes, the snare pulls, and you can have some rhythm alternating between the two in some arrangement that works. But it sounds like the kick is playing at 1, and then the snares are just doing, and it sounds like a build up. Like there's nothing to bounce off of. The obvious thing you could do is make it a 4/4 pattern, but that is very simple. Depends on what you want to do. It's just the main thing is the ghost snares. Okay, how many submissions are allowed? For free members, only 1. I made a little bit of a exception for that one guy, but I went through his like really fast on purpose. So unless you're a paid member, it's only 1 for free. Okay, next track, and if the other guy submits, I'll do his after, but this is the last track. So Mui sucks at beats guy, you better submit, bro. Demonstrating for 2 hours already, fuck.
It's wrong, this shit, fuck.
It's the wrong song, bro. Bro, send the right one then. Fuck. Okay, Mui submitted. Dude, submit yours like right now then. Right fucking now. Dude, what the fucking, what are we doing? You're not found. Did you remove it? Oh. Motherfucker. I swear, I'll when I get my hands on you. Okay, so this button right here says share. Click the share button. Click click this thing. Share. Click this button. If you don't, then your private song isn't going to be viewable. You need to click the share link. The share link, bro. Okay, you submit it again. Spooky. Little Spooky. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I say your surname, Little Spooky. Excuse me. Fuck. Okay, I have one question for you before I listen to the rest. Did you write this song? Did you produce it? Did you make the beat and you mixed it and mastered it? Dude, Bling Bling Boy? You bought the beat? I'm not listening to your song if you bought the beat. This is for producers. If you want actual feedback, you need to be a producer. What am I gonna tell you? Dude, you said this thing wrong. Oh, you know, you need to record a little closer to the mic. This is for producers, man. If you make music, if you write the music, if you write the beat and put down the drums, then I can give you feedback. I can't give you feedback on shitty rap. I'm sorry. So you come to the wrong place. If you want rap feedback, look for a rapper. I'm not doing feedback for you. Moy. If you can resubmit your thing, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, I'm gonna be ending the stream. I'll show you guys this one last time. Buy tickets to the Oblivion show, June 12th in LA. If you are in that area, check it out, bro. It is a sick place. Would love all you guys if you went. It's gonna be a fun show. I'm gonna meet some cool people. I'm gonna meet Avada, who is our viewer. He's playing the same show. And there's also Akuma there. He's a longtime friend. Love him. But it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so fun. Well, I'm just waiting on a submission. Unless you guys don't have any more submissions, this will be the end of the stream. Yeah, go check out my stuff. I have a lot of fun things going on. Check my Patreon. I do sound packs and I do tutorials and I do stuff like this weekly where I give feedback. If you guys want priority, then go and get the priority queue pass. But yeah, it seems like this is gonna be the end of the stream then. Nobody else is submitting. Me, a person has submitted again. But I'm in Ukraine now, bro. No chance. Well, sorry, man. This set will be recorded though. Anyways, thank you all for coming. I'll be around next week, same time, 5 p.m. EST Wednesday. So if you were missed this week, come back next week. But yeah, thank you all.